Hello. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Don't hear anything. Let me go out and go back in. Can you hear me? Oh, I heard something.
All right, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's me here. I got this.
Okay.
All right. So we are live here on YouTube and Twitch. Um, I always like to introduce yourself for the people while I get this thing rectified here.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, I let you do the
Hello,
introduction.
everyone. Hello, everyone. Owner of beyondsexylingerie.com. I do toy parties, lingerie parties, sex education seminars. I also have it's an online boutique, of course, so I sell adult toys, as well as lingerie. I am an sexual empowerment coach as well as an intimacy coach. So I do coach couples on intimacy, not necessarily couples counseling, but intimacy counseling as well as one-on-one coaching with being more sexually empowered in your owning your own sexuality, whatever that may be. So that's me in a nutshell. You can find me on TikTok as beyondsexylingerie.com. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook as Beyond Sexy Lingerie. You can also find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as well. Twitter is Beyond Sexy XXX.
Internal closing.
Yeah, I do apologize for this. Yeah, I'm good now.
Oh no, I seen
Uh,
so is there a way to make this brighter? Okay.
okay, um, so as I said, I do this as a way to promote not just small business entrepreneurship, as that is very important to me.
Oh, you went out again. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Internal closing.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I didn't hear you for a good part
Oh,
of, like, I didn't hear any of that.
okay, that was sorry. Um, Basically, what I was talking about was my inspirations on this show are really when I seen the push of black-owned businesses during the pandemic and everything of getting started and people supporting them. I didn't want it to be another movement that just stops when people hear a new story. So I've been my small contribution is trying to give spotlight to black owned businesses and stuff like that. Yours is, not the average, different than most that I would interview. So how did you get started? Like what was your inspiration into going into this?
Into doing what I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Short version. It started off with the guy that I was seeing at the time. We introduced toys in the bedroom, and um, just getting into it. And then I ended up going to a passion party or slumber party. It was one of those. And I loved what the girl was up there doing. And she was, kind of boring. I was like, I could really liven it up and do it a little better. And I ended up going to a second one. I asked the host about how I can become a part of the company and learn about the products and make some money. Because she did make a lot of money, even though she was kind of boring, she still made some money. So I was like, I
Yeah.
definitely want to get on board. So I researched it, and I didn't go with that particular company, but I ended up finding a company, and I went with them because they pretty much practiced what I believed in. And so I went with that company, and then after, I want to say, being with them 2-3 years, I decided to go on my own because it's more money doing it on your own, and you make your own rules. Because when you're working with another company, even though you're an independent contractor, you still have
Yeah.
to abide by their rules. So I said, okay, I don't want to be an affiliate. I want to own my own. I want to do everything. So Beyond Sexy Lingerie was born, and I've been doing it since. Let me see. I started doing being a toy specialist since 2008. I started Beyond Sexy in 2013. So I've been doing this for about 14 years now.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I
Um,
just adding stuff to it. First, it was toy specialist. Then it went to doing intimacy coaching. Then it went into doing events, different types of events. Then it went into doing sex education. So I do different seminars as well for couples and for my ladies as well.
okay. Do you go to like they're like schooling or anything that you do for like the educational stuff, or is it just ex- you know
I've
personal
been to
studying?
different, I'm not certified yet, but I am working on my certification for different certifications, actually 4 or 5 that I'm gonna go for, but they are not cheap.
Mm.
So no, you don't have to have any schooling. It's just a matter of going to different workshops. So I do go to different sex educator workshops with sex therapists, different workshops with folks who do the same thing that I'm doing. It's a lot of girls, women, men, that look like me that do what we do. And our goal is to get the world more open to it. So yeah, that you can definitely go to school for it, but it's not necessary.
Okay. Um, what would I say? What would you say would be like um the biggest myth that you would have, like that people always assume about your job that is wrong,
That they assume about me.
or the job? Like, is it something like
Mhm.
where you're facing a lot of assumptions and judgments or anything like that? Or
I would say nowadays everybody is a little more open. But I started, it was sex was taboo. Talking about sex was not something you would do. Being into your people being open with their sexuality, they weren't comfortable. I think nowadays it's a little bit easier. And as soon as I say,
Internal closing.
um,
Yeah.
when I say what I do, people, kind of run towards me. When before I had to fight and pull for people, or it was like on a hush hush. I had to be 100% confidential, So
Internal
now
closing.
more are more open to it.
Okay. See that. Yeah.
But I mean, there's still a lot of different, stigmas out there. Depending on, I don't know how deep we can go on the show, but depending on what you're doing in the bedroom, certain things that you do in the bedroom is still taboo when it kind of sort of should be normalized and okay. So it's, it just depends. So there are
Internal
some
closing.
things that's definitely taboo in the sex community. Some people may assume because I'm in this industry that I'm wild,
Internal
I'm out
closing.
here. Not at all.
Okay. Um.
Uh-oh, you good? Can't hear you.
Okay. I can. Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay. Yeah. I had to because the trouble with the system at the moment. So, you said you've been doing this 13 years.
14.
What is, oh, 15, sorry about that. Yeah.
That's
What
okay.
is one thing that you wish that you know now that you wish you knew when you started?
I would say as far as business goes, before you start having fun with your business, do your paperwork first. Get
Mm,
everything set up first so you're not scrambling all over the place. So, get your EIN, get your like the website and the logo. That's the last of your worries.
mm.
Get your EIN, decide if you're gonna be a sole proprietor or if you're gonna be a LLC or S Corp. Um, Make sure you get a bank account that's in your business name, put everything in your business name. Sign up with the state, whatever state you're in, for the sales tax and everything that you need to do. Like, do your paperwork first, and after you get that set and going, then work on the logo, then work on the website and whatever products you're going to do and build from there. But at least you have your foundation set. So I would say that would be the biggest advice that I give to anyone that want to start a business, any type of business.
And like, what are some of your goals? Are you just growing growing from this uh till like, or do you have more plans to expand into other different fields? And because you say that you continue to add, is that
Yes,
still the
I got
plan?
you. Yeah, I think right now, I'm pretty much set. What I'm focused on and the goal is now is to have my own. I'm calling it a workshop. To have my own workshop, to have my own showroom, so
Mhm.
individuals could come in and shop. It would be more of a boutique feel instead of that sex store feel. And also once that is open, I'll be doing more workshops and events where ladies can come and feel comfortable and feel open. Even if it's just to get away from the kids for a little bit, come and have some wine and smoke a hookah. That's my goal right now. So within the next, I would say, year or two, that's going to happen where I'm going to get the platform, have the area, and build from there. So that's what I'm actually working on right now. Another thing that I plan on adding is actually adding on affiliates, or AKA independent contractors, to because I want to stop doing parties. I want to retire from parties. So I want to get to a point where I can teach others to do parties and make money for themselves. So that's the goal. that's the goal, is to have individuals that I train up to do the parties for me and actually selling products. And then
Yeah.
after that, the next goal would be to actually have my own Beyond Sexy or Beyond Sexy Lingerie, Beyond Sexy Vibes toys, my own toys, that I'm selling my own toys instead of selling other companies' toys. It's like my own brand. At least 4 or 5 of my own toys, and then I would add on, everybody else's. So that's my ultimate goal. I would say within the next 5-10 years, that's the goal.
So you do have the plans
Mhm.
there. And
Yeah.
it's good you have them all into place. Um, as a business, because as I said, like, yeah, this is really about promoting the entrepreneurship there. With the questions that I'm going on,
Mhm.
what do you think was your biggest hurdle into get? Because you seem to be, at least right now, have a foundation. Not like a struggling. You're a foundation. So, what do you think was the biggest hurdle, like, to get you starting and get you going?
Money. Money. I think that would be, everybody think, funding, because I have not taken any loans since I started this.
Mm.
Now I'm learning about business credit and stuff like that and getting more into it, but I would say having that capital readily available
Yeah.
is definitely something that needs to be had. So that was one of the hardest things. Thankfully, I was able to start, like, I think my mom was like, "You're gonna do it? Okay, here's $500." So she gave me like $500 to start. And then like 2-3 months later, I put like 1,500 more in it, and then went from there. And I've just been, going off of the sales from those from 13, 14 years ago to now, still being able to build on it.
Okay. And how? Because you said that there's other people and you guys meet. How close knit or far apart is the industry? Do you guys, is it a community or is it competition? Like, do all the people know each other? Like, how does in,
It depends on where you are and where you go and who you kind of look up to, or look up to as a mentor.
okay.
But it's really close. It's really close knit. Like, I would say, like, in Atlanta, um, they have a really close knit. I'm just now coming across individuals here that kind of do what I do. And it's so many, it's so many different people that do so many different things, but
Mhm.
the industry is still, they call it the sex industry, but I say sex education industry, because you have therapists, you have psychologists, you have teachers, you have just the folks like me who don't have a degree. We're called sexperts, we're called intimacy coaches, we're called coaches, we're called teachers. So that sort of thing, and it can go so many different ways. So it just depends on, I think, the kind of, you would kind of know, the popular people, and when you go to their events, you start to see the same people over and over, and then you connect with them on Instagram, and then you start doing podcasts together. So it is like a small community, especially the Black community,
Mhm.
because the Black community in the sex industry is not that big. So when you are in there, you kind of know who's who, because it's not a big thing in the Black community, like folks believe.
Okay, that, yeah, does make sense. You'll know who's there, like, who's moving in that field there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sorry, so you said that you like who's your mentor, so having mentors and stuff. Um, what do you think was the best or most important type of advice that you've received from, like, a mentor or somebody that you've let that you followed?
I would say it was just in the industry that we are in, you have to be bold and you have to be fierce. So
Mhm.
it may seem simple, but in this industry, you do have to be bold, you do have to be fierce, and you have to own it. Because if someone comes to you and you seem timid or scared answering the questions, because I'll admit it took me a little time before I was comfortable with just walking up to individuals and saying, "Hey, my name is Eve. This is what I do." Blah blah blah. So it did take some practice and it did take some years. So it was to be bold, be fierce, and to own everything that you're doing.
Okay. And being a business owner, how do you like manage like the work home balance, like your time and everything,
Mhm.
and or are you one of the business owners, it's business 24/7 and everything else works around, like do you manage
So,
your time there?
I am still a full-time employee, so I still have a regular job.
Okay.
So I do set a schedule for myself. Um,
Mhm.
I pretty much, I have my 9 to 5, and then I work on my business up until about 11 p.m.
Yeah.
That way I can create content, gather paperwork, push some promo, whatever it is that I need to do for that day. So I would say time management is extremely important. For me, it's a little bit easier because I don't have any little ones to kind of worry about. So it's just little on me that I have to worry about. So managing my time is definitely something that
Right.
has come of ease. I keep a planner. I literally have like 3 or 4 different notebooks plus my phone where I keep up with um do I have this plan? Do I have that plan? What's available? I have a schedule. I have my to-do list. So I create to-do lists. I have a scheduling book. And then I also have my phone. I use my phone calendar. So that way if somebody say, "Hey, do you have April 13th or October 13th available?" I can look and say real quick on my phone, no, I got a party that day, or no, I'm vending at an event, no, I'm teaching a class, whatever the case may be. And I still
Mhm.
manage to have me time. I still have fun with my friends. I still do things that I love, and I still have my hobbies. So I actually schedule that stuff in. It's not business 24/7.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna ask you as one of the personal questions there, being in the industry that you are in, does that affect your dating or your love life in any way?
Okay, so it's a two-sided answer. So originally I thought no, it's fine. Most guys that I end up dating, they're okay. They know what I do,
Mm.
but I didn't think it was an issue until one of my friends and some other guy friends came up to me and was like, it's a couple of dudes that want to talk to you, but they're scared. I'm like, they scared. And they're like, yeah, they're intimidated by you. Why? Like, I'm the sweetest person ever. They're like, yeah, but they probably feel like they can't please you because you're this sex guru always talking about sex.
It
So
takes a lot of confidence. I will say, as a man point of view, getting with any woman in any type of adult industry like type of thing,
uh-huh.
it does take it takes a lot of self confidence
Right.
because you're going to assume judgment. So you got to be able to get past that. You'll assume, she's always around other people. Yeah, it's a lot of assumption. So it
A
takes
lot.
the confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times because I tell people my social media persona is my social media persona. Who I am in real life is I'm one and the same, but I'm different. So
Mhm.
still a lady. I still expect you to be a gentleman. I still expect you to buy me flowers. I still expect you to take me on dates. I still expect you to open the doors. Like you're not gonna be disrespectful. I don't
Yeah.
want your pics. Don't just send that to me in my inbox. No, thank you. Like they just think sometimes they get this assumption that I'm just this big freakazoid, and I may
Yeah.
be, but you gotta work to
To
see
get
all of
that.
that. It's not easy. It's not you just send me something in my inbox and I'm like, oh, okay, panties off. No, it doesn't work like that. So you still
I gotta
like, I
I
think
gotta
one
find
of
out who it worked for. That
huh,
people are still doing it. Who did that ever work for?
what
That they keep sending penis pics. I've never heard of anybody being happy about
I
that.
mean, I
Unless you're a
just assume
celebrity.
that there are some women because the simple fact that men do it so much, I just assume there are some females out there that likes that and accepts it.
I guess. I guess. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna try it just to test. So I've heard, but I'm just like, what? Like
But I will
that's what
always,
you
I tell
got.
people, like, it's okay to send penis pics, but don't just let that be the first thing. Get to know, like, I think it is just so rude to just come in somebody's inbox and just automatically start talking about sex. First of all, sir, I don't know you. Hi, how are you? You know, and once you kind of correct people and they see you're not on what they're on, they kind of
Yeah.
run away. They're gonna run away, or they're gonna straighten their stuff up and they'll be like, "Oh, and I'm like, you don't already ruined your chances because our first impressions are everything. So I do have folks that men, I shouldn't say folks, but I do have men that come to me inbox in person. That's very respectful that know what I do. But it does
Mm.
take, let's say it takes a very secure
Yeah.
man to date me because I can't at the same time I can be a bit much. I'm a spoiled brat at heart. I am. Blame my parents.
Well, the thing, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if
hmm
the person knows that they are, because then they understand. It's when you don't think you are, then you
hmm
don't understand, why people might feel that way there.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I try to be
So,
very understanding
yeah.
and and when I'm in a relationship, of course, certain things shift because I change certain things. I may not talk about stuff. And it depends on the guy. Some guys they don't care. They're like
Mm.
whatever. Most dudes that I get with, they got an issue with something, at least one thing they got an issue with. And you kind of maneuver yourself around it, but you're not gonna stop me from my bag. Like I'm not gonna
No.
stop business. So if that's what your intentions are, don't even come my way.
Okay. Have you dated within the industry, like like other experts or thing like
No,
that, or
mm-mm, I have not. It's not too many men in the industry like that.
yeah.
They're if they are in the strings, they're more like dominant men,
Mm,
kinksters. I don't do that.
mm.
Not into that.
Okay. So with the um with that, other than the money, what other advice would
Mhm.
you get for women starting their own, like, especially, you know like, for business owners,
Mhm.
women business owners, the
Mhm.
different segment that you are in, because I'm sure you have different difficulties depending on the scenario.
So, and you're saying, what would be my advice for someone who wants to join the industry that I'm in?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say do your research. Do your research and make sure this is something that you're actually passionate about. Don't do it because you think it's a lot of money in it, because it's not until you really get yourself known. Like I said, I've been doing this 14 years. I probably just really, really, truly took it serious and actually start making a profit maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So it does take time and you do have to build your clientele. I always say take a customer service class. Even though you're doing this, if you're not good with customer service, if you can't talk to people, it's not going to
Hmm.
work. do have to be able to talk to individuals in a way that they're comfortable. Because you're talking about some sensitive stuff. So if you're going into that industry where you're going to do exactly what I'm doing, where whether it's being an intimacy coach, a sexual empowerment coach, you have to know how to handle and talk to people. Because if you go to a party, there's always one or two individuals in the room that's there. They don't want to touch nothing. They don't want to play no games. They just asking all type of rude questions. And it's like, baby, why are you here? But you can't say that. So, I've learned how to kind of, it's I don't know. Somebody said it's my special power, but I've learned how to maneuver those type of people where they end up being a part of my show. They end up being a part of, what I'm doing. Like, okay, everything. Well, tell me, da 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 da. I start directly asking them questions, and then after a while, they just get quiet. So, it's all about building your self-confidence. So you definitely have to be confident in this industry. It takes time, baby steps. Like it's a lot of people that I know that sell toys, but they just put it online and this is what they do. There's no creative content with it. There's no giving people direction on how to use it properly. They're just selling it. They're not really pushing it and putting their love into it. So whatever you choose to do, because it's in the adult $1 industry, and each industry or each career it's like an umbrella under the adult entertainment. You have porn, you have the OnlyFans, you have the intimacy coaches, you have the sex therapists, you have the healers, you have the tantra, you have the kinksters, the people, you have the lifestyle individuals. It's so many things that you can go into. So you just have to do your research and find your niche. So that would be my advice to getting into the adult industry. Hello? Did you freeze? Uh-oh. I think you froze. If anybody's on or joining, I don't know what happened. Again, I'll give you my.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go. So I had to give my platform. I was like, okay, I don't know where he went. Yeah, you froze for a good little minute.
Today is a bad day.
Hold on 1 second. I have my AC on. It's blowing like right on me. I'm going to turn this back.
Um,
You're breaking up and I can't.
so any type of or anything that you do have.
I couldn't hear you.
To find you and connect with you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So to connect with me, you can go to my website, which is beyondsexylingerie.com. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, as Beyond Sexy Lingerie. You can also do find me by hashtag I am Beyond Sexy, or hashtag Beyond Sexy. I'll pop right on up. My name is Eve Queen. So if you want to come to my actual business, not business page, but like my fan page, it's Eve Queen on Facebook, and you can actually follow me because I think I'm at my max I have to keep going in and deleting folks, but you can definitely follow me, and I try to follow individuals back. So I'm not one of those people. If I have when I get time, I'll go back and follow you, follow for a follow. So I'm definitely one of those, and I am engaged with my customers, potential customers, as well as my followers that's on my social media platform. But if you have any questions, concerns, you want to book a consultation, the first consultation is free. It could be you by yourself, or it can be with your mate. With the intimacy coaching, if you're interested in one of my seminars, I could definitely give you information on those. And also, if you're interested in booking a lingerie or toy party, aka passion party, you can hit me up for that as well. Or you can just go online and order all the toys and lingerie that you like.
Actually, when you do the courses, one more question I did want to ask you.
Okay.
For couples, what
hmm
is one or two pieces of advice you would give out to all couples to improve their relationship
Okay.
that you
Two
found
things.
with people that you've done?
Mhm. Two things. I would say always date each other, and be open to try new things. So date and be open to try new things. Try not to get set in your ways. You want to make sure you date. I always say once a week, but some folks, because the economy and rent is high and bills and everybody's working two, three jobs, at the very least, you should, this is very least, if you can do more, do more. But every other week, or at the very least once a month, it should just be somewhere you and your mate goes where you guys can have time. I don't care if it's an hour, 2 hours. I don't care if it's you're asking somebody to babysit the kids for just 2, 3 hours, so you guys can just go in your room with a candle, with lights out, candles playing, listening to music, and just loving on each other. It doesn't have to always be about sex. You guys can just hold each other. You can talk and have a conversation, drink some wine. Um, so that's something that I always start with my couples is, okay, when is date night? Where we going? What we doing? It can be as simple or as little, I'm sorry, as simple or as big as you like. And then, of course, after we get that going, then we talk more about the intimacy. Intimacy, again, is not about sex, it's about loving on each other. So did you tell her she was beautiful this morning? Did you tell him he looked good this morning? Did you thank him for going and getting the car wash and taking it to the mechanic? Did you thank her for having the kids ready and in bed when you came home from work because you was tired? Are you giving each other massages? What are you doing to keep each other excited to see one another? So that's the goal with that I do intimacy coaching with couples.
Okay. Yeah, it was just one of the questions. I'm like,
Mhm.
so thank you for coming through. Sorry about you. Apologize.
No, that's okay. Technology.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Um, but I will in the description when I repost the video. We'll have all of her information, all of her social media handles, some future events, guys.
Okay.
Make sure you guys check her out, support, and do
Yes.
what you can. Follow her on everything on social media. Um, I think I followed her on most stuff the last couple of days. All right,
Yes.
and thank you very much.
Thank you for
And that next party.
having. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Y'all have a good night, and all right, so we'll say goodbye there.
All right. Good night.
All right, y'all, and I do apologize to you guys for the technical issues. We are looking. Hopefully, when we get some more support, we are looking to get into the better equipment and better studio setup there. But I'm still
providing you as I can with the quality interviews, quality guests, the variety, and hopefully you get entertained or educated or both. Make sure y'all follow me on everything. Subscribe to here, Kings Court Network, Twitch at DATKINGSHH. Follow Twitter at Kings Court ENT. Follow me on Instagram, Mumbles905. Follow me on TikTok, Kings Court 905. See some of my raps that I do on there, different things. Talk politics. And have a good Friday night. Everybody behave yourself. We're out.